good people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Startled TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We are Bizak.
Yes, and we are ready to go ahead and review Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q.
Hey.
Bars.
Drop the mic.
Drop it.
Drop the mic.
Drop it.
So we were extremely excited about this album, and it has arrived. We have listened. We have thoughts. We have themes. We have production. We have our arbitrary rating that doesn't matter.
Blue Lips is a 6th studio album by American rapper Schoolboy Q. It's released on March 1st, 2024 through Top Dog and distributed by Interscope. I'm excited about this. The feeling and the themes of this record kind of sit with me. Over those years that it took him to develop this record, one of the themes is being introspective. Another theme is being a little bit more lyrical. And he's still a hood dude, right? Like, it's still a much more mature kind of hood vibe. And then on top,
would you say like Frank Sinatra?
No. It's a little bit of a leap for me, so I'm going to leave that right there. But he is also a bit more jazzy in his approach. This feels like a gangsta Tribe Called Quest.
I can see that. Biggest theme for me is cohesion. When you listen from start to finish, even though it feels like it's a walk through Schoolboy's mind and where he is now, you don't feel like you get lost. You know, it even in the beat switches and everything else that happens, it's a very therapeutic ride in my mind.
I like the fact that it is a journey. There's a journey with the instrumentation as well. So if we talk about production, some of the names that pop up, according to the track listing on Wikipedia, JLBS, Tay Beast, Beat Butcher, Mario Luciano, Cal Banks, I know that name.
I do know that name.
Johnny Giuliano,
I know that name.
Cardo, Childish Major, DJ Khalil, which is notable. Alchemist is on Lost Times. Yeah, and so a lot of those notable names are throughout this, but this feels like a musical kind of patchwork. Production-wise, because all of these producers bring something different to the table. It feels like these are all of the collections of things that Schoolboy Q has either started, not finished, or even completed fully, and he's found a way to mix all of these songs together in sort of like a DJ's set for this album.
Production-wise, I guess it feels like jazz trap in a way that makes it so gangster but so smooth at the same time. That's why I keep using my funny metaphor about him being the Frank Sinatra. Is just the smoothness of how we go from one song to the next, and then we're invited to some samples here and there, some really nice singing from Devin Malik or what was the name?
Lance Skywalker,
Jazzy.
Is it Jazzy?
Jazzy, my bad. Jazzy. The pockets that you enter in with the production are just so quality. Like, you go straight into like a really trap hard beat that is notable of Schoolboy Q, and then you smooth in the Blue Slides or Back in Love. Like, the first half of Back in Love, the first verse to the second verse is like this dynamic shift of like, I was having an aggressive thought, but let me tell you what I'm thinking. The growth of Johnny Giuliano is another one, because all I hear in my head is Johnny Giuliano.
Like, and then you go back to what was that website? SoundClick.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's what I think we should do next is go ahead and talk about some of the records that we favor on this album. So what are some of the best records in your opinion?
My number one best record is Pho with Absol, or Fo,
yeah, and
Cooties. And last in that 3 is Lost Times, just because, dog, like, in these 3 tracks, the lyricism of Schoolboy is out of this world. He was talking that talk. Schoolboy, look at me right now. Listen, bro. Listen, my man. Keep talking that talk, bro.
I'm glad that he brought up school shootings, right? So as an educator, that's important to me. Like people need to really acknowledge that and acknowledge that like that violence is too prevalent, it's too common, and then if it's creating fear for parents, is absolutely creating fear for everybody else that's involved in school. So the students, the teachers, the support staff, the administrators, all that.
Favorite tracks, plural, for you would happen to be?
Yeah, some records that stood out to me are Yearn is definitely one of my favorites. Ohio is something that I enjoyed. Movie is something that I enjoyed. And then lastly, Pop. Pop was one of my favorites. So what I like about that is that he doesn't really say anything, but it feels like punk rock. It brings thoughts of punk rock era. And for those that don't know much about punk rock came up around the same time as hip hop. And so they are like sister and brother when it comes to, music and the musical landscape. And it speaks to sort of anarchy in a way, rebellion, protest. And so I love the guitar on here and the vibes. And I love that it gives a lot of space. You give a few words here, a few words there that convey the feeling of that angst and that tension.
I'm going to add one more genre to that. It felt like a punk rock Western. See somebody walking out of a saloon, pushing the swinging doors open with some spurs spinning, and just like, you on the wrong side of town. It's not going to be big enough for both of us.
I'm going to have fun with that in post.
And that's like to me, that's the title track. Cause funny guy, he doesn't talk.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. It's really cool in how it brings us in. Cause you're like looking for it. And then you drop and get punched in the face with Pop. And it still has a feature that is lit.
So what's your rating?
My rating, I give it 5 OT Genesises out of 5. OT Genesises.
I'm going to give this 4 Kurt Russells gliding. Out of 5.
I see what you did there. Let's, escape from LA and escape from this video. Enjoy the video. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified for every time that we drop another piece.
Oh, 1 and a 2.
Oh!
And a
peace.